LeFou is a character who has a name that pretty much right on the surface kind of tells you exactly what's going on with him. And I'm just kind of curious, just with that understanding and the fact that this is based on an animated film, if that just does give you the full liberty to be as cartoony with it as you want to be.
You know, I think for me it was the opposite. It was the fact that LeFou in the movie is such a punchline to all of Gaston's, he throws him across the room. He punches him. He has his teeth knocked out. He has animals sitting on his face. That's not something to play in a live action movie. So, what I sat down with Bill and discussed was sort of like, can we give him a conscience? Can we give him a little bit more texture so that he's not a blind follower? And I think that his arc justifies that in this film, that he starts to see the real beast. He starts to see this guy who's sort of stirring up fears, and he starts to question that. And that was an interesting way to go with the character that didn't necessarily exist before.
Fair enough. Well, actually, kind of just within that, in the approach of Gaston, this is a character who, when they discuss his happy place, it's war, explosions, blood, and lots of widows. So, just thinking about that and understanding that when you approach a villain normally that you're not supposed to judge and everyone's a hero of their own story, is that the same with Gaston?
What, to not judge him?
Yeah. Or do you just recognize him as a villain and kind of feel free to play it?
No, I didn't think of him. I wanted him to have somewhere to go.
Sure.
And so I didn't want him to be a villain at the beginning. I just wanted he's somebody that you laugh at. Sure. He has these ridiculous lines. He's the most self-absorbed human being I've ever laid eyes on, and the fact that he's probably suffering a little bit from PTSD.
Sure.
And where he was most comfortable was on a battlefield and, winning battles and being, revered for it. And so that's what LeFou knows. That's his trigger, to keep calmness, think back to the war, and all that. That was
I love that line, yeah.
It was an improvised moment between
interesting.
the two of us.
Yeah. I love that. That's great.
We came up with that.
Very cool. How much did you have that kind of freedom on set?
We did a lot.
We did.
Yeah.
We improv the entire song of Gaston. That didn't exist.
I've never heard of it
People
before,
may think that they've heard it, but we made it up on the day.
All the choreography.
All of it.
We designed our own costumes.
It was actually remarkable in hindsight.
I was about to say, like you guys have done
because we just did it in sync, and I was like, how did you did the same
realize you were
dance
going to do that.
It's incredible.
And amazing they were able to capture it from so many angles at the same time, too.
It was remarkable. It was just the magic.
We can't take credit for that.
No. Only God can take credit for that.
I know I don't have too much time left, but I will ask just one last question, which is, in any aspect of your performance, how would you say that the animated film wound up being influential on you?
Oh, well, I think that just playing these characters, you have to owe a lot to what came before. And I remember vividly sitting in a theater when I was 10 watching the movie and being inspired by not only Beauty and the Beast, but Aladdin, Little Mermaid, the Disney Renaissance films. And now with my kids watching it all the time, it's sort of, you can't avoid it. It's subconsciously, it's all there.
All informing everything we've done, really, and the fact that it's loved as much as it is, the original, we feel very privileged to be able to, bring a human face to these characters and give them depth and layer them much more and be the face of Gaston and LeFou for generations to come.